Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Mocha Cafe Day Perry's family? Glad you was able to dine in and hang out with me this morning. Hope your morning is starting off well. Hope the rest of your week continues to work out in your favor. We're getting closer and closer to the weekend, so just keep hanging in there. Whatever obstacles you're facing, whatever it is you're going through, just don't let it discourage you. You never know; things have a way of working itself out when you least expect it. So, on that note, I definitely want to thank all of you for supporting me, rocking out with me, always having my back, supporting me. All of my day ones who have been with me since I started this journey, all who are just tuning in for the first time. I thank you for coming as well. So, anyhow, on that note, I just thought I would let all of you know that. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you. Now, for all of you who have not been keeping up with what's been going on in the media lately, some of you were probably already aware, and in some cases, some of you probably don't even care. And I get it, because it's just so much. We're trying to keep up with our own personal lives, so everybody's not trying to keep up with what's going on with these celebrities and what they're doing and what they're not doing. So I get it. But Houston Rockets athlete Anthony Carmelo, if you haven't heard already, has had a child outside of his marriage. So of course, this situation has really put him in a pretty bad situation. He's not the first dude to go through this, and unfortunately, he's not going to be the last. There's still going to be a knucklehead out there that's going to do the same thing. I mean, no matter how much you try to school these guys and tell these guys, uh, don't get caught up with these side chicks, don't get caught up in a thirst trap. And, these guys are just not listening. Good morning, Jeremy. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. And you know, it's just unfortunate. You know, you would think that because so many brothers are getting exposed, that guys would be more careful, that they would be more mindful and not allow themselves to fall into that same trap. Every day we're hearing somebody getting caught up, whether if it's an athlete, whether if it's a rapper, whether if it's a politician, you know, somebody's always getting exposed messing with these appetizers. And no matter how much this happens, it's always that one brother who think he's so smart and so slick, he won't get caught. Nothing will ever happen. And then that happens, you know, and then there's a lot at stake, your career, your reputation, your family, your marriage. If you got a wife, you know, it's just a lot that you lose in the process of putting yourself in that type of situation. But it is what it is. So basically what's going on is Anthony Carmelo and his wife Lala Vasquez, they have been married. They've been together since 2004, been married since 2010. They have one son, Cayenne, that's 11 years old. And you know, like most celebrity marriages, marriage period, you're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. But in Hollywood, it's even more challenging due to the fact that there's so much access, especially to men that are in the world of stardom. There's so much access, meaning there's so much access to ass. Basically, they have a lot of assets. You know, you're a rapper, you're an athlete, you're a man of prestige. You don't have to pull a lot of magic tricks to get it. Women will serve it to you on a platter without a problem, because again, any woman, especially these thirst traps, these thoughts, they get in a situation where there's an opportunity that presents itself where a man is willing to lay with them. Not too many of them are not going to pass that up, because they're automatically looking at it as striking lotto. Okay, it's like hitting lotto. They get knocked up by a celebrity, an athlete, a rapper. That's like is like hitting lotto, So especially these young broads, especially these thoughts that have nothing to lose, they don't have a problem with destroying another woman's household or destroying a man's career. They don't have a problem with doing that. So it is very important as a man, even men who are not celebrities, men who just work a regular 9 to 5, trying to maintain and take care of the family. If there's a one female out there who knows you, a good dude, you make decent money, you got things going for yourself, she's going to try to target you. She is definitely going to try to target you. It's as simple as that. So if you are a man that's easily to be manipulated by the hot pocket, just keep in mind you're going to get caught. You're going to get trapped. So if you're a dude, you're simple, you easy, and you let the head downstairs do all the thinking for you, you are going to put yourself in a bad situation. Because let's think about it. It ain't just women out here that are being dumb. It's a lot of you dudes that are being dumb as well. Y'all are not protecting y'all pockets. Y'all are not protecting y'all marriages. Are not protecting your careers. You're just leaving yourself open to these broads who can come into your life and destroy it, and take everything that took you years to build. They can destroy it overnight. And again, a lot of it comes from the fact that a lot of the times y'all let y'all head downstairs get in the way, and you let your ego get in the way, because it's this attitude where that'll never happen to me. I'm too smart for that. I can never get caught up like that. It's too many people thinking they're invincible and thinking that they can't get caught up until it actually happens. But anyway, what's going on is, at the time, Anthony and Lala was having some problems, and they had a separation, cool off period. All marriages do go through that. Sometimes you got to back up for one another, especially when things are getting heated and hot, and it's better to separate before somebody go to jail and somebody got to bail you out, or somebody gets hurt. It's the mature thing to do. If you and your wife or you and your husband are bumping heads, y'all arguing, y'all getting at each other's throat, before I get physical, it is better that somebody be the bigger person and say we need to separate for a while. That's what happened. There was no divorce. They just needed to separate. They needed a cooling period. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you have to separate from each other in order to come together. But like some dudes, some guys get a joy out of hearing the word separation, because to some men, especially in some cases, these married men, it gives them a pass. It gives them a pass. It makes them believe, okay, well, we're separated, meaning we're not in the same household, even though legally y'all are still on the same paper. Y'all are married by law. You got some dudes that look at it as a pass, and you got some women too. The moment that a husband and wife separate, and it's just supposed to be a cooling period, that don't mean that's supposed to be the time you use that to go hoe around or indulge in other unloyal activities against your significant other back. And that is what Anthony Carmelo did. Instead of him taking that time to reevaluate his marriage, figure out what can he do as a man to become a better husband, or what he felt like he needed to relate to her to be a better wife for him. He did not use that time for that. He used that time to uh entertain a thirst trap. And that's exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Brother Johns? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. And that's the thing. When you have a separation, that don't mean to go see some other dude or to go see some other chick. That is not your free time for you to do what you want to do. That is your time to be evaluating your marriage, evaluating your relationship. You're supposed to decide if you really want this relationship to work or not. That's not your time to go hold around and do whatever it is you want to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to be very careful with doing that. And unfortunately, Anthony Carmelo fell into the trap of temptation. He got caught up in the thirst trap, which is something a lot of brothers do, especially those who are in the limelight. You're an athlete, you're a rapper, you're a CEO, you're a man of prestige and status. You are a thought target. You are a thought target. Thoughts are going to target you. Just be ready. Be ready. Be prepared. Don't let your guard down. Women, thoughts. I can't call them women because I don't consider them women. Thoughts are going to target you. You are a potential candidate. And like I said, you don't even have to be a celebrity, guys. You don't even have to be somebody big time. You can be a guy that just drives 18 wheelers. You can be a guy that works at UPS. You can be a guy that owns your own damn dealership. If a thought target feel like you have something you can offer her, she is going to target you. You do not have to be big time to have a woman, target you. You could just be a man that got make a decent living. You got something going for yourself, and especially if you are married, because you have a lot of thought targets who will intentionally go after married men. And the reason for that is because a lot of women, they don't want to, some of these females out here, they don't want to deal with a single man. They don't want to deal with a bachelor. Because in their mind, they feel like a married man is already well established. He making good bread, he making good money. They feel like being that he's already married, that he's already well established. So a lot of these females, they don't want to deal with bachelors. They don't want to deal with single guys. They rather go for a guy that already belongs to somebody. And some women get their jollies off of that. That makes them feel validated, the fact that they can swoop up somebody's man whenever they want. Some women get a kick out of that. Some women, it's a sick thrill that turns them on, that they're able to go after other people's men, and that guy falls prey to them. You know what I mean? So people got some weird, thrills, you know what I mean? So some people are just weird like that, especially some of these females out here. But anyhow, Anthony Carmelo apparently got this chick knocked up. Her name is Mia Burke. And they met as of last year. They met in the club. That's what some sources say. She's a stripper. That's a rumor. Supposedly she has a master's degree, a bachelor degree. So keep in mind, there's different levels. There's different levels of thoughtism. You don't have to be in the projects with 5, 6, 7 kids to be a thought. You could be a thought just by even with a college degree. You could be a thought that go to church. You could be a thought that's highly educated, married thought. It's so many levels to being a thought. other than just being a chick from the projects. I know that's the myth that a lot of us hear most of the time. We think only project chicks are thoughts. We think only chicks, who are not that attractive, who are uneducated, who don't look that good, who don't look that cute, are thoughts. And that's not true. You have women that are really attractive. You got women that are really business minded, and they are still thoughts. What's up, Rep? Good morning. Thank you for stopping by to holler at me. Appreciate you. It's thoughts on so many levels. She could be educated, she could have a degree. Degrees do not exempt you from being a thought. Okay. It does not exempt you just because you have some degrees, just because you got your own business. You could be a lawyer and still be a thought. That don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? What's up, B Dub? Good morning. Thank you for coming in. Yeah. So as I stated, he got caught up in the thirst trap. He out at the club with his boys. You see, he see this young tenderoni with this nice body and these nice hips stacked up like pancakes at IHOP. He's seen this chick, in the club, and of course, he out with his boys, and you know what I mean. And he holding conversation. He probably done had a drink or two, probably paid for her a drink or two. You know how that go. When you get in them type of environments, there's a lot of temptation. That's why, honestly, if you are married or you're in a relationship, you don't need to hang out in places like that unless you have your companion with you. To be honest with you, a lot of times you cannot play with temptation. You cannot play with the flesh. When you hang out in places like that, they have nothing but spiritual vampires, people that's looking to prey upon your weaknesses. When you go to these bars, you go to these clubs, especially if you go to these strip clubs, you see all these assets all in your face. You know what I'm saying? You got more breasts around you than somebody who's working at Kentucky Fried Chicken. 9 times out of 10, you're going to fall into temptation. You don't play with temptation. You don't sit in them type of environments, especially as a married man, or a married woman. Same thing with married women. You cannot sit in no club. You cannot go certain places, and especially if you were single friends and think you could sit around folks and not participate in unlawful activities. It's not going to happen. Same thing with you married men. If you got a single homeboy, you sitting around your homeboy, he's single. He's telling you about all the boonie he done had last night, the night before. He banged Rebecca. He banged Kim. He banged Keisha. He banged Linda. He banged Brenda. And here it is. You don't have no sex escapades you could talk about because you've been married. You've been married to Pam for what, 15, 20 years. You don't have no sescapade stories that you can exchange with your single homeboys. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, after a while, you're gonna feel some type of way. You feel some type of way sitting around your homeboys who get to talk about all these wonderful sescapades they having, and all you could talk about is Pam, who go to bed with big old bonnet on her forehead with the avocado mask all over her face, with the frumpy nightgown looking like old people wear at a nursing home. You don't have no sescapades and wonderful stories you can talk about with your single homeboys. What's up, Curly? What's going on? Thank y'all for coming on in. I appreciate you. Exactly. He's going to feel like he's missing out on something. You cannot do that. If you are married, you cannot hang around them kind of people. You can't hang around single people. Single people and married people do not mix. And same thing. And it's not just you guys. I got to get at the ladies, because same thing. You can't be a married woman and hang around your single girlfriend, especially you and your husband had an argument. He getting on you about how you spending the money, you messing up the money, you're not budgeting the money well, like most couples, y'all have disagreements or arguments. And you go and tell your single girlfriend, what you and your husband going through. Yeah, man, my husband getting on my nerves. He getting on me about how I spend the money, and he telling me I'm spending too much money, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 this and that. And of course, your single girlfriend gonna be on some haterism to a certain degree. certain degree. Man, that's why I'm not married. That's why I'm glad I ain't got no man in my life. I ain't got no man telling me what to do and telling me how to budget my money. And in the back of her mind, she's an undercover hater because she wished she had a man that was in her corner and helping her discipline her finances, because that's why she stayed broke and she'll never have no money to pay her light bill because she's too busy buying red bottoms, getting her hair and her nails done, knowing she's living outside of her budget. You know what I'm saying? So, you have some of your single females, they're undercover haters. Some of them love the idea of being single, but then some of them can't stand it because at the end of the day, they don't have their own companion. They don't have somebody who they can go home to share their thoughts with, their feelings with, to say, hey, I had a bad day, I had a good day. You know what I mean? So you have to be careful, married men, married ladies, about who you display your information with, because everybody does not have your best interests at heart. They sit on the sideline undercoverly hating and mad because you got somebody that cares about you. So you can't get caught up in the hype. You feel me? Look out, look, you start sliding off and spend money. Yeah, of course, absolutely. And there's been some women who did it, and as soon as you follow behind your single girlfriend, married ladies, and you walk outside your door and you leave your household, guess what? Your single girlfriend who was sitting up there telling you about your marriage and telling you about that's why she glad she not married, she'll be the first one to make a move on your husband. Soon as you walk out the door, soon as you leave that door crack, she gonna make it her business to make a move on your husband. So again, Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I think I probably have my volume down. Just let me know if y'all can hear me, because sometimes I can't tell on this end. Yeah, just can you hear me, Rep? Can you hear me, Curly? Can y'all hear me in the chat room? No, now you can. Okay, so y'all can hear me now. Okay, I think I probably have my volume down or something. Okay. Yeah, that's probably what was going on. Anywho, yeah, so what's going on is okay, y'all can hear me. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Thanks, guys. So what's going on is now this chick, this baby mama, now that she sees Anthony, Carmelo, and the wife, they still hanging in there because she thought having this man's child was going to end his marriage. That's what she was banking on. And that is what the majority of what a lot of these side chicks are doing. They are banking on these they a lot of them are intentionally sabotaging these men because they are banking on these men leaving their marriages, leaving their wives, especially when they intentionally target married men. That is what they banking on. So basically, Mia, that's the name of Anthony Carmelo's baby mama. Now she's coming to the forefront. And basically now she's trying to get Anthony Carmelo's attention. She's trying to get his attention basically because from what it looks like, from the things that she's been stating, Anthony is not giving her a whole lot of attention, even with her having his baby. And I don't get the fascination with a lot of women. I don't understand women in 2018 that think having a baby is going to make a man change how he feels about you. If y'all didn't already have a connection before you conceived this child, you conceiving this child is not going to give y'all, it's not going to help y'all to connect. There's so many women that are still doing this mess. They think as long as I get pregnant and have his child, he's going to want to be with me. He's going to want to have a family. He's going to want us to be together. So only find out when our child gets here, they end up disappointed because it goes nothing like that. Your child just becomes another court order. Basically, that child just becomes another responsibility, another bill that he has to pay for, and nothing more. Okay, first of all, now she's been coming in on she recently went on Instagram, and I'm gonna see if I can find what she stated. She came in on Instagram, and I guess she called herself lashing out on people who are calling her a home wrecker, calling her child a bastard child. um she's angry because all of these praises and all the praises and glory she thought she was going to get, because a lot of these side chicks, they be trying to get praises and glory and praises by messing with these married men. They can tell relationship, but if it were to work, what makes you think it won't happen back to her? Exactly, Curly. Exactly. And that's what happened. Now, keep in mind, I do hold Anthony Carmelo accountable because he was the one that was married, not the baby mama. Mia was not married. You have to realize, as a married man, as a married woman, you stand more to lose than the side chick or the side dude that you're messing with. The side chick doesn't have nothing to lose like you do. So keep in mind, to all of the men in the chat room, those of you who in the relationships are married, if you decide to step outside of your relationship, keep in mind this woman you're messing with to lose, messing up your life. Because what has happened, what I'm starting to notice over the years, this is what's going on. That when side chicks used to be happy with just getting a pipe. Back then, that's what it was all about. If that woman could get you to sleep with her, she was content with just getting your pipe. She was happy with that. To her, that made her feel like she had a one up. But what has happened over the years, guys and ladies, side chicks are taking things to a whole nother level. It's not just about getting your pipe anymore. Now the new level these side chicks are on, they're trying to sabotage you. Back then, you could give a woman some pipe, You could give a side chick some pipe, break off with a few dollars, pay a light bill or a car note, and she would be happy. She would not try to expose you. She would not harass you. She would not confront your wife. She wouldn't do none of that. But now these side chicks, they're not happy with just that. They want to ruin you because the majority of them are miserable. And as the saying goes, misery likes company. A lot of these side chicks, they're miserable for the most part that they are side chicks. They are single. And what it is, what has happened in many cases, when you've been the type of woman, you have whored around all your life, you've been promiscuous, you have not handled things in a diligent way to make you wife material. What happens is you constantly get passed around like a blunt, and guys keep overlooking you. Guys ain't checking for you, they ain't trying to marry you, they ain't trying to be with you. You just become a gas station. You a pump and go, pump and go. And what has happened is side chicks are getting so aggravated with being treated like gas pumps, to now the moment they can get a guy to fall for their thirst trap, now they're putting all types of schemes and tricks to get pregnant now I don't know how Anthony got this chick pregnant. I don't know if he did not use anything. If he didn't use anything, then shame on him, and shame on any guy who's married and not using protection, because not only could you give yourself something, you could give your wife who's not even out there cheating or hoeing on you, you could bring her back something. The same thing with you women. If you are a married woman and you're going to have an unprotected sex with these men, and you're laying up with your husband who's evidently not using no protection with you, this is why the HIV and STD population is so high, because everybody's just raw dogging everybody, and nobody's not using no knowledge, not using no wisdom, not using no common sense. Yeah. What's up, Sir Rules? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Curly. What has happened, guys? These side chicks are pulling new schemes. They are pulling new schemes. I don't know if he left his condom in the wastebasket and she pulled a turkey baster episode, as Curly said. I don't know if she had condoms on her and poked a hole in her condom. Or you have some women, they go this far. They will intentionally give a man oral sex, and the moment he, how can I say this appropriately? The moment he erupts, some will go so far as to, follow me as I say this, some women will go, females will go down, let you erupt, she'll hold it in her mouth, and then she'll preserve it in a little container or put it in some tissue or whatever and hold it till she gets home, and then she'll inject it, or she'll inject it in herself in the bathroom while you knocked out, sleeping, passed out. It's all type of tricks, I'm telling you. And I just thought of that. I never even heard of nobody doing nothing like that. It just came to my mind that some women will go that far. When you're dealing with a thought that is thirsty, there's no rules to this. There's no rules. So, like I said, I don't know if she pulled one of those stunts, you know, in the heat of the moment. And let's face it, when you're in the heat of the moment, you're not always using your best judgment. Being in the heat of the moment, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost like being drunk. It's like the only difference is when you're drunk, you're intoxicated with alcohol, but in the heat of the moment, you're drunk with lust. Okay, so just like a person that's drunk with alcohol can't think straight, you cannot always think straight when you are intoxicated with lust. Oh, that's a good message. I need to write that down, y'all. Let me. I'm gonna have to do a topic on that. Intoxicated with lust. That just came to my mind. I think that'd be a really good subject. I'm definitely gonna have to hit up on that. Yeah, a lot of us, so many people are intoxicated with lust, and that's what happened. At the moment, he was so he was overindulging in the fact he gets to lay with this beautiful, attractive woman, who has the body of an hourglass. All his common sense just went straight out the door. He wasn't thinking at all. He wasn't thinking. Only thing he was thinking about was pleasing his man at the moment. And so many of you guys, y'all get trapped up, y'all get caught up in the mix to that. When y'all be in the moment with these women, y'all are so glad to be getting ready to get some. Y'all don't use none of your common sense. You won't pump the brakes and go put nothing on. You won't do none of that, because what happens is with lust, when it comes to lust, you have to rush lust. And the reason why you rush lust, because you don't know if the opportunity is going to present itself again. And being that is right there in your face at that point in time, you rush through it because you want to hurry up and get it in. You're not thinking straight. You're not using all of your common sense. You just want to hurry up and get off. You know what I mean? You know, it's like almost like you're at a buffet, you know, because I like to go to buffets, y'all. I love buffets because I like to be able to eat as much as I want, and then it's more of a variety. Thank you, healthy heavyweights, for coming in. And it's so much of a variety. So you ever notice, like, when you don't have 2-3 plates of food at the buffet, how you get full? And even though you know you don't need to be eating nothing else because you already full, you know what I mean? Your belly about to bust out your zipper because you done stuffed yourself like a doggone turkey for Thanksgiving at a buffet. Because let's face it, when it comes to a buffet, you see all that food, you get greedy. You know you're full, but you can't resist that you know there's a dessert bar. And now you want to squeeze in that piece of cake, knowing you barely could eat. You ain't even digested what you had. But just because you know once you leave that buffet, you cannot come back in and grab you a slice of cake. So what it is, you will squeeze in that slice of cake. And next thing you notice, you sick as a dog because you done ate too much. And that is what happens, guys. Just because a woman presents to you a golden opportunity, you have to mentally pump the brakes and really coach yourself and say, is it worth me losing my marriage? Is it worth me losing my career? Is it worth me having to pay this broad for 18 years? You have to really think about that. Is it worth all of that? Is it worth being stuck with this bipolar narcissist broad that's going to make your life miserable? Because let's face it, women that are so easy, not only are they easy to get in bed, but they are easy to make your life miserable. And you have to think about that. Rep says that he told me that these chicks are not done by far. He said they actually do homework on you. Crazy. Oh, yeah, Rep, of course. That's what thoughts do. Thoughts have all day to study you. They got all day to study. You study your bank account, study, you know, the places you hang out. They do their homework on you, definitely. Um, Thanks for the compliment, healthy. That's why her person's on the rise. They're getting off and getting up. They ain't cheap because they didn't penetrate. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know, exactly. People have learned to lie to themselves about cheating. People have learned to lie. You got some people who think because they only participated in foreplay and they didn't have the actual sex, they don't think that's cheating. Some people will lie to themselves and say, "Oh, I ain't cheating. I only put the tip in." Or you got some women who will sit there and think they cheated on their husband because the side dude went down on them and there was no penetration. Well, I didn't cheat. I didn't let him hit. I didn't let him hit. You pulled your panties down. It don't matter if it was penetration or not. If your husband was not there when that act happened, that's cheating. And the same thing with some guys. They think, oh well, I only let her, blow me. I ain't hit that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And what amazes me is that you have some guys, and I'm not saying all men do this. If it does not apply, you don't have to reply. Some men love to sit up here and talk about how easy some women are. Oh, this woman, she easy, she this, she that, she a hoe. Well, let me tell you something. If you always giving up pipe, what does that make you? A lot of times when you think you having these broads, guess what? These broads be having you. They be having you. Why you want to call them names and call them tricks, call them whores, call them this, call them that. You know, the bottom line is You're laying with them. So what does that make you? Let's not don't let the pot call the kettle black. If you are dealing with these type of females, if you are dealing with thoughts, you are a thought target, which basically puts you on the same level as the women you disrespect, the women you talk so bad about. Now I get it. Guys, y'all don't catch the heat like women do. Guys, y'all can sleep with as many women as y'all want and still be considered a hero. A woman does it, she's considered a zero. So I get it. There's things as women we will never be able to get away with, and that I mean that I don't make the rules. That's pretty much what it boils down to. Let's see. Yeah, that's already. Yeah, what's up, Ace? How's it going? Thank you for coming in. But yeah, again, now what's happening, guys, is Anthony Carmelo baby mama. Now she's constantly on Instagram, got something negative to say about the situation with Anthony Carmelo. And now she's mad because everybody's coming at her because what's starting to happen is side chicks are not being praised as much as they used to. What's starting to happen is people are coming at these side chicks and they're putting them in their place. So now this chick is upset because people is calling her child a bastard child. People is coming at her, calling her a home wrecker. Now she can't take the heat. You got pregnant by this married man, even though it is his fault because he's his own man. He is responsible for how he handles his marriage. What's up, Neon? Thank you for coming in, hun. Good to see you. Patents. Look it up. HIV, man, maybe. Oh, I would not be surprised, Rip. I really would not be surprised. It's so much goes on behind closed doors. That's why it's very important as Black people that we and people in general that we educate ourselves because there's so much behind the scenes. Yeah. But y'all, Anthony Carmelo, baby mama Mia, she's mad because she's not getting the praises and the glory that side chicks are used to getting. Because side chicks used to get people would buy their tell-all books. People would give them all invite them on talk shows that expose these men and all that. What's starting to happen is a lot of these side chicks are getting shunned away. They're getting shunned. They're getting shunned away. Side chicks are not getting any recognition like they used to. Now they're getting shamed. And they try to expose these guys, but what's happening is a lot of them are making themselves look bad. And she's upset because everybody's calling her daughter a bastard child. But let's be honest, that's what the Bible says. If your child, and I hate to say this, but if your child was conceived and y'all was not married, the child is a bastard child, meaning that child was not legitimately conceived through two married people. And even more so if that other parent was married, especially if that parent was married. I mean, I hate to take it there, but it is what it is. I didn't make the rules. You have a child from somebody who was already married. Oh, and that child will not be able to carry that man's last name. You know why? Because the child is illegitimate, which makes the child a bastard child. And I know a lot of moms, especially single mothers, are going to get offended by this content, but I didn't make the rules. It is what it is, So, as long as you're taking care of your child the best way you can, you don't need to get offended. I mean, that's just the facts. You meet some dude in the club, you let him bang your back out. He ain't use no protection. Now you got a baby and you want to be glorified and you want to get offended when somebody call your child a bastard child. It is a bastard child. The child was illegitimately born. I mean, it don't mean life is over. God could still bless you. It's still years down the line, you still got a husband that's willing to marry you and your bastard child or your child and take on that child as his own. I mean, some women they get some women get to recover from whorism. Not many, but in some cases, I mean, you got some brothers, they are willing to pick up where the last man left off. I've seen some guys do it. I've seen some men marry women that got 5, 6 baby daddies. I don't know why they do it, but hey, you got some guys, you got some simps, you got some simple dudes. They don't mind picking up another dude's payments. They don't mind taking over another dude's payments. They don't mind co-signing on somebody else's debt, you know. You know what I mean? You got some women to do it. You got some women who have married men who got 5, 6 baby mamas. It's not just men who are taking on to some of these women that already got baggage. You got some guys, women that do it. I know some women who have no children and have got and fell for dudes that had like 5, 6 baby mamas. So it go both ways. You know what I mean? I didn't have no children when I met my husband. My husband had 2 from his previous marriage. I didn't have no kids. You know what I mean? You know, so just like you got guys out there who don't want to deal with a woman who got a bunch of kids. Let me tell you something. It's women out there who don't want to deal with a man that got a bunch of kids. I was like that. I ain't cared how fine you was or how good you look. If you had kids, I ran from you. I never wanted to deal with guys who had a bunch of children and too many baby mamas. I really didn't want to deal with a guy who had kids, period, because I know the drama that comes with it. And just so happened, you know, when I met my husband at the time, you know, he was a good dude, you know, he was with him mentally, spiritually, intellectually. So happened I just happened to fall in love with the man who had children. You know, not tell you it was easy. It was very challenging. It's a lot of stuff I had to go through. It's a lot of bullshit, you know, on the strength of trying to keep our relationship together. And to this day, this broad, she still don't like me. And I've been with my years. And she's still on her feelings. Still in her feelings. Kids are grown, child support is over, and she still ain't feeling me to this day. And I really don't care because I don't care for her presence either. So you know what I mean? So it goes the same way, guys. All us women, we ain't out here with no 8, 9 baby daddies or whatever. You know, we picky just like y'all are. We don't want to deal with that bull crap. We don't want to deal with all that excess baggage. So trust and believe, you got some women out here who trying to handle their business. They're not intentionally trying to get knocked up. It's a lot of women. More and more women today are straying away from single parenting. More and more women are trying to strive to become wives instead of baby mamas, because we see so much of what other single women go through being parents. A lot of us don't want to go through that. Now you got some, they're never going to learn, you know what I mean? But for the most part, it's a lot of sisters, they getting hip to the game. They realizing that, you know, just being in the position of baby mama is not worth the aggravation. You know what I mean? But anyway, but you know, it's just like that. But yeah, you what it is, guys, now that Anthony Carmelo is with his wife, this chick is trying to make trouble. She's all over Instagram. She on Halloween of last month, she gonna post a picture of her Instagram with her baby, with her baby stroller, and it looked like she had a hat hanging up over it, and it was something else. But basically, she was trying to be funny and basically state that her child didn't have a father. Well, whose fault was that? You knew this man was married. Everybody knew Anthony Carmelo was married to Lala. Everybody knew that, including her. She did not care. And that is the part that rubs me the wrong way about a lot of these sisters. Y'all will sit up here and get knocked up by these dudes, knowing they married, knowing they in a relationship. I don't care if he came after you. Because a lot of y'all like to come up with these side chick hypothesis instead of hypothesis. I'm saying hypothesis. Y'all like to come up with these hypotheses to justify your horrorism. Well, he came after me. Well, if he was getting what he wanted at home, we got all these side chicks, myths, and these hypotheses where these women want to justify their horrorism. They will say stuff like, well, he came after me. Well, why wouldn't he come after you? You in the club with stuff up your butt, showing your assets. You know, you prancing all over the club with your breasts out. You twerking on the floor like you a stripper. At Club Cheetah. What makes you think he's not going to come after you? You have to realize as women, we need to be realistic. We want to sit up here and blame these guys for targeting us, but you can't dangle a piece of meat around a pit bull and don't think he's not going to attack you. You can't do that. A lot of time, these women, we like to sit up here and play crazy and play stupid. We know just what we do, ladies, when we dress a certain way, when we carry ourselves a certain way. You're on a dance floor, you twerking like a stripper. You are trying to draw attention. You are trying to make yourself a pipe magnet. You know just what you're doing. You ain't strutting and walking and carrying yourself like that to impress other women. You're trying to get some man to notice you, a dude to notice you, a simp, or even the highest bidder. A lot of these women, they don't go to the club just to be going. They are looking for somebody. They are advertising because they're looking for some simp to advertise their ad. And you would think by now that the majority of these dudes would be wise to the game and know that when a woman is dressing, female is dressing provocative and carrying on a certain way, she's trying to get you to respond to her ad. And it's bad enough you already be entertaining these broads. You already wrong, especially if you're in a relationship. But then you have the audacity, you'll go raw dog them. And here it is, you get in child support letters and your mailbox that you got to go to court. Now you got to explain this to your wife. Now you got to, you know what I mean? It's going to be all over the media, especially if you're a man with prestige and status. The media going to have a field day. So anyway, she's in her feelings. She's upset because she thought Anthony was going to walk away and leave his wife. And so far, I don't know the status of their marriage, but they have been a lot of places together. And maybe Anthony realizes how much damage he has done to his marriage. And maybe it took something so messed up for him to realize the kind of woman he really had. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to marriage, marriage is a very delicate thing. I've been married for 19 years. And I will admit, marriage has a lot of challenges, and it's so easy for people on the outside to judge y'all problems, to judge what you and your wife go through, or what you and your husband go through. Everybody is going to have an opinion, but at the end of the day, only you and him know what y'all could sustain and what y'all can overcome. And marriage is not something you just easily walk away from. And a lot of people don't understand that, especially single people. If you've never been married before, you really can't give an opinion too much on it. I bet you don't feel like when the child support check is it. This is account. Okay, now Rep, I'm glad you brought that point up, because that was the next thing I want to mention. Now, what's going on is, even though we know Anthony Carmelo, baby mama, Mia Burks, that's her name, she's getting a check. This we know. Because you already know 9 times out of 10, for her to be claiming and exploiting this little girl all over the place, they done already got DNA done. That's been done. That's been resolved. 9 times out of 10, she's already getting a check. They hit her account every month. But let me tell you what's going on, Rep. This is the new thing with these side chicks. Do y'all realize a lot of them are not happy with the money anymore? Or are y'all starting to notice that? Think about it. If these side chicks were happy with the money, why do they keep coming in after these brothers? Why are they still talking reckless about them on Instagram? Why are they still talking bad about them in the media? Now, you getting your check once a month. I'm sure she getting a fat check. But what's going on is, it's not about the money. She wants him. She wants him. Because what a lot of side chicks are starting to find out is, money don't always buy you happiness. Now, it will pay for your rent. It will pay for your car note. It will pay for your child's child care. It will pay all of that. But what has happened in this female's case here, she's still coming after Anthony, even though he's cutting them checks, because what it is, she realizes that it wasn't the money, just the money she wanted, but she wanted him. She wanted him. And see what's starting to happen, guys. You used to could pay side chicks off. You used to could just pay these baby mamas off and move on with your life. and be happy, but it's not going like that no more. These women, they don't want just your money. They want to try to control you. It's not about, okay, I get 20,000 a month, I'm good. Even with that money they get, they still are miserable because, again, in her case, she sees Anthony Carmelo going out with his wife, him and his wife together. They going places, doing things, traveling together. She could, what's the purpose of having all the money and when you ain't got nobody to share it with? She got to look at the fact that even though the money is in her account, every time she looks at that little girl, she has to realize her father is not going to be there the way she wants him to be there because he's a married man. Money ain't everything. I know a lot of people think money will solve our problems. It may for a little while, but sooner or later you find out what's really important. Sure, she could put her child in the best child care. Sure, she could buy the nicest home. Sure, she don't have to. She can get a nice car, nice mansion. I'm sure she ain't got a problem with financially with anything. But what's starting to happen is she wants a father for that little girl. She's not caring. She does care about the money. That's like 50% of it. But the other 50%, she wants him to be there. Exactly, Curly. She's stuck with that child. It's not everything. It does help. Believe me. Why do a lot of you guys who pay child support, why do you think your baby mama still give you a hard time? If you think it's all about the money, if you think it's just the money, why is she still trying to make your life miserable? So shouldn't the moment she get the money, shouldn't she be happy and leave you alone and stop harassing you? The reason why a lot of them can't stop harassing you, even when you cut them a check every month, is because they are still feeling the burden of that child by themselves. Let me tell you something. When that baby gets sick, she can't just get that baby a $20 bill and make that cold go away. Or that baby has her son has his first baseball practice or first football game. She just can't give him 30. She can't give that little boy $30 and say, here, your daddy sent you this. Eventually, she's going to feel bad because of the guilt of knowing I cheated my daughter out of having a father because he was already somebody else's husband. He already had a family. Because let me tell you something, a man can't be in two places at one time. He can't be here trying to please his wife, the family who he earnestly and honestly wanted to have versus trying to deal with a family that he just had by accident based on his own negligence. It don't go that way. A man can't be two places at one time. What's starting to happen, guys, these side chicks, they're not just take the money and go sit down and keep their mouth closed. Now that's not good enough. They want to ruin you. They want to try to complicate your life because they don't want to be stuck with the burden of raising these kids by themselves. I know you guys think these side chicks are getting away with murder because they're getting these checks deposited every month. They're getting 30,000, 26,000, whatever. But let me tell you, as a woman, as a mother, and I'm telling you, as a coming from a woman, that money, child support, it doesn't help us as much as y'all think it does. It's a source, but it's not a resource. And I know a lot of these baby mamas is up there, got y'all believing that, okay, I'm getting your money, I'm good, I'm happy, I could ride off into the sunset, I could buy me a 2018 Toyota Camry. I know these women got y'all believing that once they get y'all money, they straight, they happy. Let me tell y'all something. These bras is getting child support and they still just as miserable as they were when they wasn't getting the money. Because what they're finding out is money doesn't solve everything. It's one thing when that father is in your home with you and that child gets sick, that child is having colds. You want that father to be getting out the bed with you and tending to that child. That money in the bank account, it can't do that. The money in the bank, it can't do that. When that child is asking you, where's my daddy? Why my daddy won't come and see me? That money in the bank account can't answer that. What's more painful for her is the reality of knowing, even though Anthony Carmelo is giving her this money, her child's father is all over the news with his wife all in the magazines with his wife, traveling with his wife. He is moving on with his life, with his wife, and she's not getting the attention she wants. She getting the checks, but she's not, her child is not getting the recognition she wants her child to have. And even the most pathetic mother does not want her child to be overlooked. Let me tell you something. The most painful thing for any mother is knowing that her child is being overlooked and not getting recognized. That child is a couple of what, months old. So you know she's saying dad, 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 dad. Every time she hears that, that's heartbreaking, because she knows in her mind she cannot expect Anthony Carmelo to do but so much because he's a married man. And that's the problem with the majority of these women out here. They already know they can't expect but so much from their child's father, especially when that man was already in a relationship and he already belonged to somebody. So why they got y'all believing they think they winning? They are not winning. Because as these kids get older, they're not going to ask their mama, well, how much money daddy be giving you? They want to know why my daddy don't come to see me. Why when I go to the football games, everybody else daddy there and my daddy ain't there? Why on Father's Day, my friend and they daddy went to the fair and my daddy ain't here? This is what these side chicks got to understand. Stuff that y'all think is funny and cute now is going to come back and haunt you, because your child is going to ask you questions. But the majority of y'all are not going to be honest. Y'all are going to lie and place it all on the father like y'all didn't have nothing to do with it. Guarantee you, Anthony Carmelo, baby mama, is going to put all the blame on him when our child starts asking questions. She's going to make it seem like your father just didn't want you. Your father didn't acknowledge you. She's not going to admit, like the majority of these side chicks, she's not going to admit it's her fault too that she ended up cheating that child out of having a real father. She's not going to say, well, mommy messed up too, because mommy knew that daddy was married and already had a wife and a son. They're not going to do that. And that is where these children start resenting the fathers, hating the fathers, because the mom is not being dishonest. She's not telling the truth. She's not being honest. She's not keeping it real. All of these women who out here who are having these single moms or whatever, who are having these children, they want to put all the blame on the fathers. They don't want to take no accountability. A lot of you women, y'all know better. You know when you lay with these men and you don't use no protection, you can end up being a single mom. Okay, you won't get on no birth control. You won't make them wear no condom. Because for one, you already be trying to find a way to keep them, because you don't have enough confidence. You don't feel like you got enough going for yourself to find other ways of keeping him other than getting pregnant from him. And that was has happened. And what's is going on is a lot of women have reached a new level of desperation to where they are willing to do anything to try to keep a man. If it means by deceiving him and getting pregnant, even though that man is just as responsible, because as men, you have to take accountability too when you get yourself in situations like this. But this woman, she's getting money every month from Anthony. She's mad because Anthony is still trying to work things with his wife. She didn't just want the money. She wanted Lala's life. And she's mad and she's resenting him because she can't get that. Carly Carmelo won't be there for baby first steps, first tooth. I'm telling you, Carly, that is what got a lot of women angry. I know a lot of men are thinking that once a woman gets money, she gets her child support. Ooh, she could ride off to the sunset. That only cures the financial part, but it doesn't make up for what she's going to have to go through when that child has certain events in their life. She's going to be by herself. He's not going to be there, because this thing is, you knew I was married when I got with you. I'm not going to stop my program over here just to convenience you. No. By the time that kid started questioning, she will have a replacement there to hold it down. Yeah, and she probably will. And she probably will. But it's still not going to be 100% good enough because it's not him. But yeah, that's going to be the next thing. A lot of them, when they can't get the father of their child to cooperate, they'll just move on to the next simp and get the next simp to play daddy. They'll just find a substitute daddy. And these days, a lot of guys are willing to do it. A lot of guys, they don't mind coming in, picking up where the next man left off. You know, and that's exactly what she'll do. But guess what, Rep? She might as well, because she'll never get Anthony. That's not happening. He's not trying to be with her like that. She was just something to do while he was going through whatever it was he was going through. You know, and that's what a lot of these side chicks have to understand, that they don't get a permanent residence when it comes to dealing with these guys. They are just something that these men do for the moment, you know, until these men get through whatever they're going through. But at the same instance, as men, you have to be very careful getting yourself in situations like this, because once you get these women in your lives, especially when you have children from them, you cannot get rid of them. You cannot get rid of them. My thing is, I don't care how much Carmelo Anthony ignores her. He may try to walk away and he'll send his money once a month, and him and his wife still travel and still go places, do things. That is still his daughter. He's not going to be able to ignore this little girl but so much, because the older she gets, sooner or later, she's going to be looking for him on her own. And that's the other part about it. You know what I mean? You know, so he's not going to be able to completely walk away. So guys, you know, if you know there's a chance you're not going to wife this woman, do not knock her up. Do not knock her up. You know, don't put yourself in situations where women start catching feelings for you, especially when you dealing with these random groupies. Now, if you're dealing with somebody from Backpage, or you're dealing with a prostitute, something like that, you may not have them kind of problems. But when you're dealing with these average women, especially these women that's looking for a come up, as they would say, that are looking for a come up, you better be very careful, because they're going to make you a thought target. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, Curly. I'm telling you, it can get deep. People don't think far ahead when they do stuff like this. That's what I'm saying. That child could need a blood transfusion, any of that. And he's going to have to stop what he's doing and run to the hospital. That girl get in an accident. God forbid, if her mother, something happens to her mother, the state gonna look for him to step in and intervene. That's the thing, guys. If you knock these chicks up, you think you could write them a check and move on with your life. Not always. These kids could need a blood transfusion. Some could happen to their mama, and the state may need you to get custody of the kids. I mean, there's so much stuff that can happen. It's just best to avoid getting in these type of situations. But definitely, I feel like, you know, Anthony Carmelo and this chick, you know, they're gonna have to answer to this problem that they created. And the only thing I can say is, you know, they're gonna have to find a way to put their selfishness aside and try to work things out for the sake of this child. Only God knows. But side chicks, note the side chicks, when you pull stunts like this, you try to trap somebody, you end up trapping yourself, and your child gets cheated. But anyway, y'all, it's been long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. So anyway, I'm gonna leave this up for all of y'all to comment, for those who didn't get a chance to view this. You know, again, I want to thank all of y'all who have been supporting me, rocking with me throughout this journey. You know, I would like to know how y'all feel about the situation with these side chicks that are going out here getting knocked up and pregnant, you know, by these men because they're trying to get status, they're trying to get a paycheck. You know, how do y'all feel like a lot of these schemes and tricks is backfiring on these side chicks? Let me know y'all opinion, what y'all think about this. Hi Zero, how you doing? Appreciate you for coming in, but I'm getting ready to shut it down. So on that note, y'all, it's been real. It's your girl, Lady Mocha. I'm getting ready to sign off. And remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth and break you off with a slice of knowledge. Y'all take care. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.